Hello and welcome back to Star Control 2 Hardcore Challenge, Ur-Quan Masters. Today, we're off to Thraddash space, because we need the Aqua Helix. It's one of the sort of main things we need to complete this game. I thought last time that we had to destroy 25 Thraddash, but it turns out there's actually another much easier way to get the Aqua Helix. Literally, you just talk to them and tell them to go and fight the Kohr-Ah. Now, I don't think I did that in my original playthrough, and I'm not exactly sure why I didn't. Maybe I just didn't have the option for some reason. Yeah, it's strange. I don't really know. Because when I found out about this, I was really surprised. It seemed like such an easy way to do it, because if you think about it... what's this here? It looks like a probe. Probably. But yeah, if you think about it for a second, there's now basically three ways to get the Aqua Helix. You either have to ally with the Spathy, get the caster, go and impersonate Dogar and Kazon, tell them to go and attack the Thraddash and wait for the Thraddash to disappear. Or you have to defeat 25 of their ships and make them like you, and then you can go down to the planet's surface. Or you just go and tell them to fight the Kohr-Ah. It seems really strange how that's such an easy way of doing it. And as I say, I just don't remember having that option the first time. But hopefully we do have that option. If we don't, then I guess we're back to Plan A, and that is having to destroy a bunch of them. I think this might be Umgar, unfortunately. No, it's another probe. I think the Umgar are pretty slow, so it's fine. But yeah, that's good to hear. And then I think all we have to do is, yeah, we tell them to go to fight the Kohr-Ah. They will drift off towards where the Ur-Quan are. And then we quickly go and get the Aqua Helix, and then we get out of there, and then we just leave. And I think the Thraddash are only away for like literally about a month, and then they get obliterated pretty much, because their ships are obviously terrible. And so they get obliterated by the Kohr-Ah and very quickly return home. So I think there's a very short sort of time frame to do that. So yeah, we basically just send them all away, quickly get in there, get the Aqua Helix, and get out again. On the way there, though, we are still going to have to fight a lot of Thraddash while the Sphere of Influence is still moving, because it does move quite slowly. And so we are still going to have to fight some Thraddash, for sure. Hopefully not too many. Because, again, just like the Umgar, we don't have any ships that are very well suited for fighting Thraddash. But it's going to have to be Pakunk, and hopefully, I think I said this before, it's a good opportunity to perhaps regather some crew, regenerate some crew, because we are a little low. We've been a bit rubbish, well, I've been a bit rubbish on some of the planet's surfaces, been a bit rubbish with crew in some fights, maybe, in the past. And so we need to get back on track with the crew, because at the end of the day, you know, crew's the sort of the limiting factor, really. And having those Pakunk there means that we basically never run out as long as we keep fighting and regenerating crew. So for those who are not familiar with this tactic, you basically go into battle with a Pakunk ship with only one crew member, and then you go to the fight, die, hope that you respawn, and that's why you have to keep saving quite a lot. That's the one thing, you have to sort of save scum a little bit. Go into battle, die, hopefully you regenerate, and then you win the battle, and then you end up with more crew than you started, and then you can just filter off that crew back into your flagship, and you basically just generate crew like that. So I think this will be our first Thraddash, maybe? It is 4 of them, okay. Let's talk to them and initiate this movement into Kohr-Ah space.
So, what's this? An unknown alien species. How wonderful. Someone new to fight. We, the Thraddash of Ultra 19, famous Ur-Quan combat grounds, know well the value of a good fight. Either you win and prove your superiority, or you lose and are vanquished. If the vanquished is lucky, it may survive to learn an important lesson from its defeat. This is the way of the Thraddash. We fight and learn and improve. All other cultural schemes are inferior. This is a proven fact. What have you to say before we begin combat?
Okay, so I think the one thing we just want to make sure we don't do is leave, because if we leave, then they will try to attack us.
We are not hostile. Hostility is unwarranted aggression. If you want to know about hostility, let us tell you about Culture 12. Culture 12 was so hostile that while they were on their way to their first great battle, Ur-Quan, the battle master, stepped on Nusco, the tactician's foot, causing him great pain. The annoyed Nusco turned on his battle master, Ur-Quan, and sliced his body in half. This miffed Ur-Quan's troops, who took it upon themselves to murder Nusco and his elite troops. The real trouble started when now dead Ur-Quan's master sergeants, Mood and Put, started arguing about how to kill Nusco. Simple crucifixion or the slower lit tattoo technique. The argument was resolved when Mood and his 500 troops were slaughtered by Put and his gang. Well, this probably all would have gone down in history as a great day of learning for Culture 12, were it not for the surprise arrival of Culture 12's original enemy, the Yajag and his cronies, who wiped out Culture 12's army, thus beginning the long and glorious Culture 13. Now that's hostility. We, on the other hand, merely want to kill.
Right. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So unlucky.
Weaklings like those of Culture 14. For 10,000 years, we Thraddash have fought and died, learned and improved. Then, along came Culture 14, which claimed that all this perfect method was wrong. That each time we violently transformed to a new culture, we inevitably blasted ourselves back at least 500 years in development. Some people just cannot accept the cost of progress. Indeed, the foolishness of Culture 14's peaceful whining was revealed when they were conquered by Culture 15 after only a 10-year reign. And did the change to Culture 15 set us back 500 years? No. 2, maybe 300 years tops. The short span of Culture 14's reign is objective proof that as a way of life, peace is a failure.
Yeah, Culture 14, they sucked. So maybe Culture 19 is better.
More talk? It amazes me that you ever got out of the orbit of your home planet. Yap, yap, yap. Yammer, yammer, yammer. Very well. We will talk for a moment. Culture 19 is the most formidable ever to appear in Thraddash space. Admittedly, we said something similar about Culture 18, but it is true. With our rather swift defeat by the Ur-Quan and subsequent enslavement, we realized that it was time for a change. A new culture had to be established. So of course, we began a thermonuclear exchange to decide who would lead this new culture. We were all quite disappointed when the Ur-Quan in orbit above our homeworld launched waves of fighters who intercepted all our missiles. The Ur-Quan explained that slaves were not permitted to engage in such destructive conflicts. So my people, being superior, introduced a super lethal poison into our opponent's water and air, thus ending the conflict. The Ur-Quan were not particularly happy about this resolution and killed all our leaders, which, under other circumstances, would have started a larger inter-Thraddash war. But the Ur-Quan appointed new leaders, apparently chosen at random, and explained that further disobedience would result in the destruction of our species. Frustrating, huh?
Yeah, of course. So they're actually battle thralls, but they didn't appear in the original Star Control game.
They're slaves, dolt. What else would we be? When the Ur-Quan first appeared in our space, over 50 years ago, coming from the direction of the Ophiuchi stars, we attacked them with gusto, zipping in to fire our Mark 6 blasters, and then theoretically zipping back out to prepare for another attack run. Unfortunately, before we could sip out, our ships were either blasted to smithereens by the Ur-Quan's fusion bolts or were picked apart by the swarms of Ur-Quan fighter vessels. You may wonder why we didn't use our afterburners to escape. The answer is simple. 50 years ago, our ships had not yet been modified for this enhancement. It was not until 2143 that maintenance engineer Riam invented the afterburner effect. When he accidentally stuck his cigar in the aft fuel valve of the ship he was working on, waboom! The ship took off like a barn out of hell, and Riam was fried to a crisp. Yes, we remember Riam with much fondness. Of course, we have refined the device, and now that our entire fleet has been fitted with the Riam afterburners, perhaps now the Ur-Quan will let us fight at their side as true battle thrall.
Oh man, I really like this remix of this theme, actually. Really good job. So yeah, they didn't appear in the Ur-Quan Slave War.
We wanted to. Oh, how we wanted to. After all, we were the first battle thralls the Ur-Quan enslaved in this part of space. We thought we had priority, but the Ur-Quan thought we were too weak to hold our own in the upcoming battles, so they left us here to guard the flank. If only we had been stronger and less troublesome. Another reason the Ur-Quan wouldn't take us with them was because we kept picking fights with the new battle slaves, like the Umdablabis or those religious idiots, the Ilrad. Where did they go, you ask? This is a secret, of course. We can't tell you. If we told you that they were fighting a secret war against a mysterious invader, you might find some way to use that information against our masters. So forget it. No secrets.
Right. Okay, maybe this is it. Here we go, yeah, so go and attack the Kohr-Ah, and then we can go and steal your stuff.
Stupidity. Why, that's as dumb an idea as... What did you say? Attack the Ur-Quan's enemy? Help them win their war? Why, that's an excellent idea. I'm glad I thought of it. We shall marshal our forces and leave at once. Stupid, human, pitiful, weakling dog. You have been helpful. So as a reward, you may leave alive. And when we return from our glorious campaign, we may even honor you with a retelling of the many great battles we shall certainly win. Until then, get lost!
Great, okay, so that looks like it might have worked. Maybe? We should probably check the star map. Yeah, I definitely saw it move, so it is moving. And so hopefully, that means we can now go to the homeworld. But for now, we are going to have to fight a lot of Thraddash to get there on the way. So this might be... Oh, okay, this is a probe. It's fine. More probes. More useless RU in the bank. We're up to... Well, we're up to nearly 40,000 now. We've got a lot of RUs. We're pretty rich. But unfortunately, no use. It's a shame, really. Here we go. Here's the Thraddash.
Ur-Quan will be mightily impressed by our combat prowess. When we blast their enemies from space, we build up a charging fury. Stay out of our path.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll really appreciate the help that you guys can give them.
Brutal? You don't know the meaning of brutal until you've heard the story of Culture 3. How brutal was Culture 3, you ask? Culture 3 was so brutal that they maimed, tortured, enslaved, and in general brutalized themselves. You see, Culture 2 had made a virtue of stoic resistance to pain, stubborn fortitude, that sort of thing. So when Culture 3 came around, they had a problem. How were they going to impress everyone as being even tougher? Their answer? They would arrive at a battle, stand on a tall hill where everyone could see them, and chop off one of their own limbs. Then they'd wave it around, screaming and shaking it at their enemies. It worked. It scared the hell out of their opponents. They ran like crazy. You could tell who was a real war hero back then. quite different too. Instead of sturdy old warriors walking slowly past their reviewing stands, they tended to roll, and at a good clip too. To you, an inferior alien, this may seem bluntly stupid, the product of a sick, primitive society. You couldn't be more right. Culture 3 was, as you can well understand, only the third Thraddash culture.
That does make sense, to be fair.
Far from the temperate perfection you have encountered here and now.
Okay, so it looks like talking to them anymore is a bit of a waste of time, because I think they'll attack us now.
You leave before the lesson begins? We have so much to teach you. Let us show you just one thing. It's called the surprise attack.
Yep, called it. Okay, so it is time to send Tweety into battle. We're going to win this fight because we're much better than them. But first of all, we've got to make sure that we survive to live another day. So yeah, oh, okay. Yes, good. So, oh my goodness, okay, this is a little bit difficult, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so it looks like the tactic here is to try and like drive alongside and just... Wow. The computer... Well, okay, phew. The computer is very, very accurate with those shots. Okay, there's one down. Good. Diako is down. Just a couple more to go now. And now we've got Fakank. Here he comes. He's trying to... Well, okay. He's trying to... The computer is really good, I've got to say. I'm also not very good with the Pakunk. I've not really used the Pakunk very much. I basically... In fact, I don't think I used it once in the original... Did I maybe use it in the final battle? I don't think I did. So yeah, I've hardly ever used the Pakunk, ever. And so this is a little bit new to me. But I do know that you can sort of do these weird spiral attacks. Most of the time, though, it seems like as long as you sort of get a good line, then just not spinning at all is a good tactic. Because I think, by the look of it, I'm firing like one bullet per battery, like per point of battery. And so that means I can fire like 12 bullets in a very, very short amount of time. That's quite a lot of damage, really, if you think about it, if you get a good line on him. So you can do a lot of damage very, very quickly. It's just actually that the accuracy is not great, just because the ship is so fast. I can imagine with much, much slower ships, because we're going to have to fight the Mycon in a few episodes' time, and I'm imagining that it will actually be a lot easier to sort of line up the pod ship and just sort of drill into it with about 12 bullets and just take them out in one shot. The problem is with the Mycon, obviously, is that they've got those homing balls of plasma that are actually quite difficult to dodge when you're going so close to the Mycon and it's off the screen a little bit, and it's sort of difficult to see where it is. See, look, there we go, like that. If you line it up, you can do a lot of damage very quickly. So that's what I'm talking about. So, here we go. There's one down. One more to go. Oh yeah, so another thing I thought I'd talk about quickly is that the reason I originally found this game was because of the Yogscast. The Yogscast in about, I think it was the beginning of 2013. It's a long time ago now, it's crazy. They played this game for a little bit. They played it for about an hour or so. And then they suddenly stopped. They just sort of stopped out of nowhere. It turns out that the reason they stopped is because they formatted their computers and they lost a lot of their stuff. They just reformatted all of their computers and lost a lot of data. But anyway, they've said for a few months now that they'd come back to the game, and they did. And at the moment, well, not at the moment, but they started playing Star Control again on their streams. So doesn't even matter if you're a fan of the Yogscast, if you want to go and watch some more Star Control. And I've got to say, the Yogscast streams are pretty good, actually. They do it every day now. They used to only do it at Christmas, but they do it all the time now, and that's another bit of Star Control if you want to go and watch that. And obviously, the Yogscast, they're pretty popular, and so it's good that they're playing it, because obviously it gets people to know the game, and it means that this game gets played a bit more, which is fantastic. So yeah, they're playing with the old textures. They're playing like sort of... well, it's part of a series of live streams where they play old games, and so they've picked up Star Control and started playing again. They've only done 2 live streams, but they're both 3 hours long, so they've played 6 hours of the game so far, which is pretty good, really. But at the moment it's the Christmas live streams, and they don't do the sort of same stuff as Christmas live streams. They do lots of sort of charity stuff, and they play lots of different stuff. But hopefully they remember to come back to it in January, and if they don't, then I am going to nag them by donating and get them to come back to it, because I'm sure they'll love to, because they clearly really enjoy it, and it's really good fun. So yeah, that's another thing if you want to go watch some more Star Control. It's effectively a blind playthrough. Lewis can hardly remember the game at all. He played it when he was like a kid, and unlike a lot of sort of Yogscast stuff, it's actually sort of properly played. They're not sort of mucking about in it. They're actually playing it properly, which is quite nice. So yeah, the reason I decided to mention that is because obviously they were the guys who actually got me into the game in the first place. So, you know, I'm doing a bit of advertising of their stuff. Not that they need it really, but yeah, whatever. Another thing related to Star Control, which we haven't talked about yet, that's been happening in the last year or so, is that Stardock have obviously started making a Star Control game. It's called Star Control Origins, I believe. I haven't actually looked at the details of it very much. I'm not sure whether it's a sort of prequel or a sequel or whatever, but it will be very interesting to see how that turns out. Oh, I didn't mean to talk to them, to be honest. Yeah, bye. Right, let's get out Tweety again and destroy them. But yeah, so Stardock, they're making a Star Control game. I saw there's actually a video on YouTube, like sort of like a spoiler, like a trailer. Not really a trailer. It's just a little bit of gameplay, like a teaser, and it looks pretty cool, I guess. I'm not sure about the alien design, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see how they turn out. But the thing that does look really quite cool, I think, is the planet landing. When you land on the planet, you should go and check out the video. Just type in like Stardock, Star Control on YouTube or something, and it'll come up. And basically, the way it works, obviously, in this game is that you land on the planet and it's all two-dimensional, and you sort of drive around the planet. In their game, the planet's three-dimensional, and you sort of drive around the planet, and it looks a bit sort of like Mario Galaxy, if you know that game. And so you sort of drive around the planet, and there's sort of stuff on it, and it's actually like a proper sphere. So it looks actually pretty cool. It looks really well done, which is really nice to see. But we'll have to see how the story develops, see what sort of stuff they come up with. As I say, I don't know whether it's like a prequel or a sequel. I'm sure they've already said what it is, roughly, on their forums or something. I hear that they've sort of been talking to a lot of the sort of fans of the game. At least they originally did. I'm not sure whether they have recently, but I believe the sort of general gist of the time that it's set is well known. I should go and look up about this, actually. I always start talking about stuff that I don't know anything about. But yeah, I'll go look it up. Anyway, I think we're done with this episode for now. We've destroyed some of Thraddash. We've sent them off away to fight the Kohr-Ah. And next episode, we're going to go and get the Aqua Helix. And then I think we're going off to Vux space. So I'll see you then.